Here we go. What's going on, everybody? And welcome to the Fighting's Final on It's a Rap Sports Network. Phillies get the win 7-4 versus the horrible Rockies. Make it 5 in a row for the Phillies. And they got things going early, right? They didn't waste much time. Stott and Turner got things going with some singles, and then Harper brought them home off the double. Um, Nick then got Harper home. Luzardo only has to deal with 10 pitches in that first inning. Um, and it was great, right? Things were looking like, yeah, this is exactly what the Phillies should be doing against the last place in all of baseball, all of MLB, the Rockies. And then in the second, the excuse me for one second. In the second, our Mondor and Freeman really made Luzardo work there, even in the third. Fouling off balls. Luzardo he wasn't really hitting his spots early on. It didn't seem like there in the second, but got him out, kept him scoreless in the inning. The defense, I thought the defense played well in those innings, in the second and in the third, for Luzardo to keep that 3-0 lead. And left a couple runners on base there in the third inning, which would have been nice to get those insurance runs. Then Colorado gets the run in the fourth off of the Freeman single to left. And Freeman probably the only Rocky to do much of anything on this night. Um, he got the scoring going for the Rockies in the first, made it 3-1. And then in the fifth, Kepler got that run back on a double to center. Schwarber scored on that. Schwarber scored. Um, and then Luzardo was up to 80 something pitches then going into the fifth, and was really in command of his stuff there in the fifth and sixth inning. Was able, he retired like 5 or 6, maybe might have been even 7 batters in a row, which then Schwarber comes out and he hits the dinger. Back-to-back nights. What is he at? 301 now. Tied with Shohei for the NL lead league in homers. And then the bats really came alive. They had 17 hits again on the night. And Bohm singled, Castellanos scored, Real Muto scored, but and JT was the only Philly to really not do anything on this night, just because he was the only one who didn't get a hit, right? Marsh, that seventh inning, Schwarber started the home run to center, 430 feet. That made it 5-1. Like I said, then Bohm scores, or Bohm singles the left, Castellanos scores, and Real Muto scores. Then Marsh scored, or gets a single, and things were really rolling. And then in the seventh, Armando brought in Freeman, and really once the bullpen came in, you really saw the Rockies kind of get comfortable, and that'll be for later on, the bullpen, right? Because that is going to be that is now the only Achilles heel, what it feels like for the Phillies, the way that these guys are hitting. What Stock got up to the plate 6 times. He had 3 hits. He's hitting over 260. Turner had 2 hits on the night. Harper had 3 hits. He had 2 doubles. Then you go down to the bottom of the lineup, Bohm and Marsh. Marsh has got his average up to 231, Bohm 264. Both of them had RBIs on the night. So offensively, you can't really say much other than you wish they scored more runs, right? With the way the bullpen came in and gave up 3 runs there in the final 3 innings in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. So not much to complain about. I thought Luzardo was a little off, but he had enough, right? He had enough. He had the changeup working, um, and 10 strikeouts. I think the Phillies are over 30 strikeouts. They lead the MLB in total strikeouts. So it was nice to see. Only gave up 2 hits for all the pitches that he threw. 105 pitches tonight, 66 strikes, and only 3 walks. Um, yeah, yeah. Once the bullpen, like I said, once the bullpen came in, it was uh it was questionable. It was questionable. Let's get into some of these comments. I see him coming in. What do we got here? Joe, what's going on? Great win. Yeah, good win. I wish they would have scored some more runs. 12 runners left on base on a night like this when you have 17 hits. You would have been nice to get a little bit more runs, but that's just being nitpicky, right? Star Wars, yeah. Lazar almost, yeah. And I was sitting up here, I'm finishing up my notes, and I'm wanting to write in the score. And I was like, oh, screw it. I put in 7-2. And the next thing I know, it's 7-3. And then I was like, oh, well, I'm not even going to finish writing it. And then 7-4. And so that's where they got some other guys going in the bullpen, it looked like. But um, he held on. He held on. He's not the answer in the bullpen. I know that much. But he held on, and they got the 7-4 win. Kyle is starting to heat up. He is a machine, right? And it's what do you do with him contract wise? Do you lock him up now and make sure he doesn't continue? If he stays hot like this, you don't want to go into a bidding war with anybody, and it gets to a certain point where money's going to talk, right? If you let this contract negotiations get into the off season, and that's what I don't want. I'd rather have him in house for the next 3-4 years and not have to deal with any of the contract stuff in the back of his mind. Yeah, that may be what's motivating him, but I personally don't think so. I think this is just who he is. He's a beast, and yeah, he's eating up. Star Wars, what's going on, man? Another Schwarber bomb tonight in Colorado. Kyle Schwarber is now tied with Shohei Ohtani for the major league lead with 17 home runs. 301 for Kyle. Careers now, 301 for Kyle. Yep, and he is. I thought Bryce, right? My preseason um prediction was that Bryce was going to lead the league in home runs and everything. I'm a big Bryce guy, so I was very wrong, right? But hey, I not bad to be wrong in this situation. Um, what was it? I saw 430 feet to center field. That Colorado elevation didn't really need it, right? Because he's the man. It was a Schwarber bomb. It was a good one though. Sign this man Schwarber soon. Yeah. So uh I just got done talking about it. But yeah, I agree. I think not long after the All-Star break, if this continues, if he's on a hot streak like this and he's hitting like this, um, lock him up. Lock him up, right? Barbara Cara, how you doing tonight? I can't watch 9 straight games against Pirates, Rockies, and Athletic. It's ridiculous. Who makes these schedules? I know. And it what I don't like about it is it allows, well, you hope it doesn't, but it feels like it allows the Phillies to get then, more comfortable, right, against clubs like this and teams like this. So they got 7 runs. They got, what was it? They got four runs in the first 5 innings. You know, to give the bullpen those insurance runs that were needed. Ultimately, that 7th inning that got them those 3 extra to get them to 7. Yeah, against good teams, who knows if that's going to be enough, right? So that's what I mean. The one thing I wish they would have got out of this was more runs off of 17 hits. Um, but yeah, it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch these schedules when it's crap team after crap team after crap team. But they got to go out and win them. They got to go out and win them, and they got 5 in a row now. I think they sweep the Rockies and then deal with the Athletics this weekend. Kyle Schwarber, very good hitter of baseballs, indeed. No lie there, Star Wars. Can't believe Thompson let Lazar. I was shocked too. I thought I thought especially after that first run scored in the 9th that he was going to be who was it? After Moniak singled to right and brought Doyle in, I for sure thought he was going to be pulled. But he wasn't. But he wasn't. And I guess in an instance like that, when you have a little bit of cushion, um, I think he's trying to find what he's got in this bullpen now, and what he's going to be working with. And I think he's trying to give some guys chances. And I guess that's what's good about stretches like this when, like with Barbara's comment about having to play the Pirates, Rockies, and Athletics, when you find yourself in a situation like this where um, uh, the bullpen is struggling and now is struggling for other reasons, right? So you got to find guys and you got to see what these guys can do. So I don't think Lazar is the answer, and I don't think he's going to be pitching too many 9th innings moving forward. Um, but let's not much to talk about box score wise for the Colorado Rockies tonight. Um, besides Freeman and Amandor, those are the only guys who really had anything. Freeman 3 for 4, had the RBI. Amandor had the RBI, and then Moniak pitch hit for Farmer there in the 9th. He had the RBI, but that's about it for them. 0 for 5 for Beck. Tovar 0 for 3. Had a great, what's it called? Some great defense, some great fielding on the infield there. He pretty much kept Real Muto from having the the base hit that he needed for everyone in the lineup to get a hit. So some great plays by him. Give him some credit. Um, but this Rockies team is definitely bad. And I'll be honest, I don't think, for me personally, I don't feel like if they have to sweep this series. You can't go out there and let a team who's now 8-40 beat you, right? You're the top team in the NL. You're the top team in the NL East now. So you you can't you can't falter against teams like the Rockies at all. I think you got to go out and continue to have these. I wouldn't say that the scoreboard wasn't dominant 7-4, but then when you look at the full scoreboard and you see 17 hits, you saw what Luzardo did in 6 innings. He had the 10 strikeouts, only gave up 2 hits. You look at it from that point of view. You look at some of the guys who you're able to continue to keep going and getting that confidence with the bats, like Bohm and Marsh. Kepler, even too. He went 2 for 4. What did he do? He doubled to center, got the RBI to with Schwarber scoring. So guys like that need in these stretches, right? Need to if they don't have the confidence right now behind at the plate, they got to find it in these sort of stretches. So you almost have to find the ways to motivate yourself when you're in series like this. I think they did a good job. I think they did a good job tonight. Got a comment. Love the outfield assists from March. Yeah, later on, I don't. I think you're talking about the when he kicked it out of his own glove, right? And later on, so yeah, so that didn't help Lazard, but he was making it. He was getting a double on that play, anyways. Man. So, but let's now get into the Broad Street bottom line. All right, and for tonight, much different Broad Street bottom line for me than what it's been on most Tuesday nights. Tonight, the bottom line is you go out and you beat down the teams the way teams like this, the bottom feeders, you go out and you have performances like this tonight. You do exactly what you need to do. You 17 hits, 7 runs, got big hits from Harper, Turner, Stott, the top of your lineup, and then you got your big dinger from the home run leading guy right now in Kyle Schwarber. So, the bottom line is they were dominant where they needed to be, when they needed to be. The pitching was good, and this is what you do against these sort of teams, against teams in the bottom of the league. The one thing I don't like, and I think it's because it was more of a experimental thing, and just trying to see what you got in the bullpen. But that's Rob leaving Lazar in that 9th inning. I think you could have got Strawman and oh, okay, when he threw the guy out of third. Yeah, that was a great play. And who was that? I think it was Armando that he got out at third. It was a bullet. And I'll tell you what, he's looking good right now. The leg's looking good because he was flying down that first base line. He got thrown out, but I mean, he was moving down there, and I think that just goes with the confidence. He's up to what did I say, 231 now? So yeah, but yeah, no, I remember that. I remember that play when you threw him out at third. That was nice. But yeah, that's my bottom line. This is what you do to teams that are 8-40. You got to go out there and have these sort of performances at every sort of level, and they did that. They did that tonight. Not too many complaints. Complaints would have been JT gets a hit. Lazar doesn't give up 2 runs in the 9th, and maybe they score some more runs off of 17 hits. But for the most part, I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain about tonight on a night where they go for their 5th in a row and they get it, and things are continuing to look up. So let's see how everyone else did around the league tonight. All right, let's go around the bases and check out some of these scores from around the league. The Guardians and Twins, they were postponed, so they're going to have a makeup date. The Cardinals lose to the Tigers 5-4. White Sox and Mariners in a shootout. White Sox beat the Mariners 1-0. Brewers get the 5-2 win over the Orioles. The Blue Jays shut out the Padres 3-0. The Yankees get the 5-2 win over the Rangers. The Tampa Bay Rays win 3-2 over the Houston Astros. And the Red Sox, God bless them, beat the Mets 2-0. And the Nationals beat the Braves 5-3 in a little NL East matchup. And the Pirates blank the Reds 1-0. Holy hell! Cubs put a beat down on the Marlins 14-1. What do we got? We got 3 games live right now. That are 2 of them are in the 7th. Dodgers and Diamondbacks. Dodgers got a slight lead over the Diamondbacks, 1-0. 2 outs in the top of the 7th with a man on third. Angels leading the Athletics right now, 5-4. The middle of the 6th. And the Giants are up on the Royals 3-1, bottom of the 7th, no outs, no men on base. So let's dive into the standings here. Phillies 30-18 now, a full game and a half up on the Mets. Atlanta sitting in 3rd place in the NL East, followed by Washington and Miami. So yeah, Phillies got a series coming up, not too long. Be next week after Memorial Day weekend? They got Atlanta, and then I think that weekend they got the Mets. So get through these bottom feeder teams. Do what you have to do. Handle business. Do like what I said. Continue on my Broad Street bottom line, and just putting the beat down on teams, allowing these guys to continue to get confident at the plate. Figure out this bullpen situation. Really got to figure out this bullpen situation now. You look at the league overall. Phillies are on top. Lead the Dodgers by a full game now. So things are looking up. May is here. The warm weather is here. And with the warm weather, the Phillies have brought their bats alive. Alonso made another error. That's 4 straight games for him. Yeah. And it was one of those where it was like, it is added to the list, added to the short list of things to improve on. But 4 straight games, that's rough. But we're going to wrap things up here for tonight. I want to remind everybody, though, that later on in the week, do got some more shows coming up. Tomorrow, it is going to be who do we got? We got, I think, Pat and Maddie B switched. Pat was last night, so it's going to be Maddie B on the call tomorrow night, and then Mike to wrap up the series on Thursday. Hopefully they get that win. And of course, on Friday night at 10:30, the wraparound with Pat Bernard. He's going to wrap up the weekday and guide everyone into the weekend for what is going on in Philly sports. And then right after that, Sunday mornings, of course, Pat Bernard and Mike, PM and M in the AM, Sundays at 9 o'clock in the morning. Bring your coffee. And then this Thursday, I may be with a guest. Pat's on vacation. So I may be with a guest, or I may be solo, but the attacking third on Thursday at 9 o'clock. And then, of course, every night, I just followed him every night, Sunday to Thursday, 10 p.m. Maddie B, the final word with Maddie B. So, guys, tons of things going on over at It's a Wrap Sports. I want to thank everyone for watching. One last comment we have coming in. What do we got? Atlanta and Brewer. Okay. So, yeah. So, we be with Pat? No. I was doing some paperwork, trying to close on a house, or put a bid on a house last Thursday. It's kind of a last minute thing, and then this Thursday, Pat will be on vacation, so it'll just be, like I said, it'll just be me, or it'll I may have a guest in store to talk about the Union's upcoming game against Miami on Saturday, and then their Open Cup game tomorrow night. So, guys, want to thank everyone for comments and for tuning in and everyone's support here at It's a Wrap Sports Network. So, guys, Phillies win 7-4, get their 5th win in a row, and looking to keep this momentum going. So, have a good night, everyone, and let's go Phils. Ring the bell.